We're stoked to have Louise Storey here today. She's been a Elite Rock, sometime which you have known her well as. She's also the lead wellbeing at Ryan New Zealand. So she knows both sides of the coin, and if you're watching this, you're already thinking this could be a really juicy interview. Did your experience as a rower influence your decision to work in the field of wellbeing?
Yes, definitely. And it's funny, it's quite a funny question because I was asked the other day that how interested was I in wellbeing while I was an athlete, and I had to say that actually I was not interested at all in my own wellbeing as an athlete. So, you know, doing things like rowing through injuries, not taking breaks, or like continuing to row when I wasn't really enjoying it. You know, just all in the pursuit of making the team and, trying to get to world champs or the Olympics and whatever that looked like, just really holding on. Yeah, so it was, it wasn't until I stopped and like kind of reflected over my time that I felt like I had quite a lot of learnings there that I could hopefully pass on to the next generation.
Can you share a memorable moment from your rowing career that had a lasting impact on your approach to wellbeing?
Yeah, so I would say that my experience in rowing at the elite level was the school of hard knocks. And so with wellbeing being a relatively new thing in elite sport, so while I can say I don't have all the answers with how to make a perfect marriage between wellbeing and performance, what I can hand on heart say is that I know what not to do with regards to wellbeing.
Are there any specific initiatives or programs you've been involved in that have had a positive impact on the community?
Yes, well, my role before rowing, so after I finished my time as an athlete, my first role afterwards, my first official role, barring time with a glass place as a team, it was actually working with New Zealand football as a player welfare officer, and part of that role was going out into the community and visiting different clubs. I covered a wide area, Waikato Bay of Plenty, and one of the workshops that I wrote and delivered was a workshop on the female athlete. So it was really cool sitting in rooms with young female athletes, their male coaches, sometimes their dads, and delivering a workshop on periods and hormones and what that looks like. And the feedback after those workshops was so rewarding that especially the fathers coming and being like, you have just blown my world right open. I had no experience or knowledge in this area, and they're starting to look at their daughters a little bit differently.
Louise, you were an elite rower starting in 2009 rowing for Ryan New Zealand. You got heaps of experience under your belt, and you've seen the sport grow, you've seen it evolve. How have you brought this knowledge and seen the sport growing into your work with promoting wellbeing at Ryan New Zealand?
I think a big change that I have seen from my time is that just being an athlete has become so much more complicated, and so that's why my approach to wellbeing in rowing is quite behind the scenes, because athletes already have so many people invested in what they do, how they perform, who they are as a person. I feel like they have their own group of people that they trust as their tight team, and I'm not necessarily another voice that's always needed in those situations. So I definitely take a back seat to things and just make sure that behind the scenes that the athletes are at the centre of all the decisions and processes that we do.
We've got a wellbeing specialist here. It'd be insane not to ask. Can you share some personal habits or routines that you prioritise for your own wellbeing?
Mine are pretty simple. So I'm a mum, I've got 2 young girls, and balancing family and work and maintaining a good healthy balance between the two is really, really important. So my little routine in the morning, and we've got this timed perfectly, is that I wake up just before my youngest, I get a cup of coffee in, and I have that in silence and peace.
and then she'll wake up and we get a good morning cuddle in about 5 to 10 minutes. She just sits on my lap and gives me a big cuddle, and then we're into the day. That's so cool.
Lovely. I like that.
What a nice way to start your morning.
I know,
This is great.
And this well-being question, but one that is always asked and is on everyone's mind. What's your 2K?
Okay, this is a really personal question. My 2K best, I think, is 6:47, which wouldn't quite cut it with the heavy hitters these days, but you know, that's all right. I feel like that was a good one for me.
Hoops don't float.
Hoops don't float, guys. Hoops don't float.
Thanks so much for being here, and all the best for your family, and thank you for your role here at Rowing New Zealand, and looking forward to seeing all your work come out.
Thanks, Matt.